Today I want to discuss animal intelligence in relation to human intelligence. While a lot has been said about human intelligence, there has been a great deal of misinformation and nonsense when it comes to animal intelligence. For thousands of years, humans have been repeating the same old mantra ad nauseum. That is, humans are exceptional to all other animals by virtue that they are the smartest in the animal kingdom. This idea was confirmed by various religions throughout history, which viewed humans as a special creation. So special, in fact, that humans are given a free rein to multiply and subdue the earth, as noted in Genesis. Where did the idea of human superiority come from? Well, let's go back to about 10,000 years ago. This was the beginning of the agricultural revolution, when people in the Near East started growing crops and domesticated animals. This mode of food production was very different to the way in which prehistoric people accessed food. You see, prehistoric people were primarily foragers and hunters. What this mode of food production did do was to change the way in which people related to nature, from one where humans worked with nature to one where they exploited and manipulated nature. This led to a whole series of changes over the last 10,000 years, where the non-human world has been systematically reduced, denigrated, and viewed as an object for human tinkering. By the time of the ancient Greeks, the non-human world had been completely objectified, which led to Aristotle claiming that animals were inferior to humans. The belief that humans are superior in their intelligence than other animals is so entrenched and widespread that it has reinforced a bias in understanding human intelligence. The fact that scientific experiments on animal cognitive abilities have been generally designed to emphasize the superiority of human intelligence is a case in point. For example, comparisons between human and animal intelligence generally focus on those things which humans are really good at: language and technology. This bias towards language and technology has for the most part overestimated human intelligence while reducing animal intelligence. Of course, many a scientific experiment has been designed to reaffirm just that. Let's look at the infamous mirror test. Mirror testing has been used on various primate and non-primate species in order to discover if animals possess a sense of self, which is believed to be a hallmark of higher cognition. Basically, an animal is placed before a mirror and is observed whether it can recognize itself or not. If it can, then it has passed the higher cognition test and has the honor of joining an elite group of other animals, including humans. Of course, excluded from this test are people who have engaged in a Saturday night pub crawl and for all purposes cannot even remember how they look like on the night. The problem with mirror testing, apart from being grossly human-centric, is that it assumes that other animals use vision as their primary sense, as in humans. This means that dogs, who have a highly developed sense of smell and comparatively poorer vision, will not do well in the mirror test. You see, dogs access the world through their noses, to the same degree that humans mainly depend on vision to know the world around them. Maybe a good idea would be for humans to perform a self-awareness test based on smell. I would argue that such a test would probably reveal a high failure rate. The point is that it seems to be very difficult for humans to create intelligence tests on animals which do not reflect an inherent human bias, period. There is now a wide scientific consensus that language and technology shaped the human species. While language and technology is the very fabric of culture and provides us with the means to shape our world in countless ways, they are just adaptations, no more than that. Not superior, just different. This means that language and technology were selected by evolution, not because evolution deemed them as being superior to all other adaptations, but because language and technology gave early humans an edge to survive in their particular set of circumstances and physical environments. As any intelligent human can notice, all other animals have their own kinds of adaptations which confer survival benefits. While humans have a language and technology-based intelligence, other animals possess an impressive range of cognitive skills which makes the smartest of us bemoan with envy. So where do we begin? I can start with a little-known bird called the Clark's nutcracker. This diligent avian has been reputed to store over 30,000 pine nuts in over 2,000 locations, covering 100 square miles. Incredibly, it can memorize approximately 70% of its caches. Human memory cannot even come close to this mnemonic feat. Another kind of intelligence which humans would like to possess is eidetic memory, which chimpanzees seem to possess. In 2004, a test was performed using chimpanzees and humans. The test was composed of numerical sequences using the Arabic numerals from 1 to 9, appearing momentarily on a screen. The 9 numerals were then transformed to white boxes. The participants then had to remember in which boxes the correct numerals were shown. 5 out of 6 chimpanzees outperformed their human counterparts in both accurately selecting the numerical sequences and in shorter duration time. It should be pointed out that the chances for correctly remembering the numerical sequence are 362,000 to 1. And then there are the cetaceans, the whales, porpoises, and dolphins. The plethora of research suggests that these animals possess higher order cognition, which was believed to be the sole province of humans. Now we know better. So what does the research suggest? Here is some food for thought. Bottlenose dolphins seem to recognize each other using signature whistles, similar to how humans identify each other using personalized names. And like humans, these signature whistles are learnt when dolphins are young. Killer whales or orcas appear to plan and rehearse their hunts in advance, which points to higher order thinking abilities. Orcas seem to have their own distinct dialects, just like humans. Cetaceans protect their young and older members, which indicates high emotional intelligence. This is in stark contrast to the ways in which many younger and older members in human societies are currently treated. On this theme, recent research notes that cetaceans have spindle cells, a kind of brain cell previously thought that humans and some great apes only possessed, which codes for emotion and social relationships, the stuff which is needed to create a culture. Bonobos or pygmy chimps also possess high emotional intelligence. This is reflected in reduced levels of violence and greater conflict resolution amongst bonobos. Bonobos are also generally more playful than their human counterparts. Let's look at it this way. It takes a lot of intelligence to have emotional intelligence. The fact that bonobos are emotionally savvy may mean that we have been underestimating their intelligence. Indeed, it seems that we have been grossly underestimating animal intelligence in general for a long time. The fact is, humans can no longer claim to be exceptional. The arguments for human superiority are fast eroding in the face of scientific research. So how do we get out of this conceptual mess? First, we can stop viewing animals in terms of lack of, but rather as possessing different kinds of intelligences. However, to do this, humans need to challenge their own misconceptions about animals. This means that we need to invert the way we look at animals. For example, instead of seeing dogs as not being able to talk, we can think of how humans cannot enter the rich olfactory world of canines. Instead of saying that whales and dolphins cannot make houses, we can focus on how they have created their own cultures without the use of hands, a world made through sound. All you need to do is observe nature's ways. You may be surprised.